What is going on YouTube? Hannah back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the S&P 500 if we have time. So last we left off in our video yesterday, we were tracking the recent breakout that's been happening within XRP. We shot up all the way from like $1.09 to levels as high as $1.25. We did take profits. We did talk about moving our stop losses up, which did get triggered. And since then, we have been correcting lower, which honestly was expected because we were hitting top resistance and becoming overbought. But now it's pretty much trying to find the next pattern and the next trend to capitalize on the short-term run that could happen on the hourly, the 4-hour, and then obviously looking at it more long-term on the macroeconomic scale on the 4-hour and daily charts here. Not only that, but we are looking at the other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, which is currently closing outside of its ascending fractal here. That's something we have to talk about, as well as Bitcoin, which I did discover is creating some sort of ascending wedge now instead of a falling wedge, a rising wedge pattern, which is interesting. We do have to talk about that. And the S&P 500 looks absolutely incredible. The market has been doing phenomenal since we have bought into it. Absolutely phenomenal, guys. So I would love to talk about that too. If you haven't been in the S&P 500 in mutual funds, it's just something that I recommend. Otherwise, guys, definitely make sure to take part in a crypto coin display giveaway, completely free to enter. All you have to do is comment your favorite cryptocurrency down below, as well as comment subscribed, and I will be sending one of these out every single Sunday. So definitely stay tuned for that. Obviously, if you're not subscribed, you will not win. And lastly, today's video is brought to you by Beam, or the BeamX token. You guys can see here, Beam is a confidential cryptocurrency and a confidential DeFi token with features such as privacy by default, confidential assets, atomic swaps and DEX, superior usability, smart contracts, and confidential DeFi. Basically, they're saying take your money out of exchanges, take your BeamX out of exchanges, and start staking it to earn even more cryptocurrency. For more information about the Beam project, please stick around to the end of today's episode or check the links in the description if you can't wait. Otherwise, definitely make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, and let's dive into today's episode. So guys, as you can see, top 10 cryptocurrencies, markets are pretty much just consolidating. We're at about 2.72 trillion. And again, consolidation has pretty much taken over except for Binance Coin. It's pretty incredible to see Binance at over $600 when I remember it being created by the Binance exchange and it was like $8 a piece. It's really incredible here, which is also very interesting too, because we do have the Bityard exchange, which I've been using for over a year and a half, and I believe it needs more attention than it does deserve here. And they are creating their own token called the BYD token, which is going to be very similar to Binance's cryptocurrency, but this one's going to be for the Bityard platform. And honestly, since I use them so often, I plan on holding some of the BYD tokens with anticipation that we're going to see the prices explode here. Very similar to BNB. That's what my anticipation is. But what's cool is you can actually daily mine BNB. You can see it's really cool that they actually offer this. No other exchange that I know of lets you mine crypto here, but you can actually mine, just like I'm doing here, any cryptocurrency every single day, which is awesome, unlike any other exchange here. And you can see it deposits it into my BYD token, it deposits into USDT, Tron, so on and so forth, and then I can transfer my USDT assets out and actually use those to trade, which is really freaking cool. Just like that, super easy. And then I'm also just stacking up my BYD tokens, as often as I can here, because my goal is that these are going to be worth something on the exchange in some point or another, and I'll be able to make some money off that. So really cool. Definitely check out Bityard in the description down below if you haven't already. But back into the technical analysis here. So as you guys remember, XRP on the hourly charts here, we were trading this massive symmetrical triangle that was forming here, broke extremely bullish, closed above on the hourly, and exploded up to major support levels and resistance levels. Now, we actually put in a stop loss just at this level right here. Reason being was because we were tracking this much bigger falling wedge pattern here, which had the point of breakout, which was about this size here, was this movement right here, the same size breakout. You can see it just like that. That's how we tracked the mouth of the opening here. So we put a stop loss in very closer and took profits when we saw prices retest the top resistance level. You can see where this line cuts across. It's pretty much the top of the first run that we had here. That's when we we put our stop losses in just in case we reverse lower, which was ultimately exactly what we did immediately after, corrected all the way back down. And since then, we did start to correct back upwards. And you can see we kind of formed this uptrend here, but it's on the hourly, so things don't really hold their value that well, or they're not as confident as some of the other lines on the 4-hour daily, weekly, and monthly charts here. But you can see we did start to correct lower. So what I'm looking for right now is some sort of different pattern. We have to track and find some sort of pattern that can maybe help us decide where exactly this crypto is moving to, or what exactly is going on right now. So I'm trying to find some sort of like uptrend. It's hard to do. I do see some sort of downtrend forming. You can see it like this, and maybe some sort of sideways channel here, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe this is a support level. I'm not too sure here. You can see this is just very small, and I would not consider this to be the most accurate chart right now, but you can just kind of see the downtrend that's starting to form here, and this is why I'm starting to use this slightly as a means of what could be coming soon. So this only ends probably in the next couple of hours here, which isn't long, but basically it's us retesting our moving averages right here. So since then, we really haven't bought back into these cryptocurrencies. We're waiting for the next, pattern to start to give us momentum to buy back in. So this might be a small one here, and we'll wait for consolidation to happen here. But you guys do know that this was a major resistance to retest $1.18 here. We closed above $1.13, so that was great. Once we closed above there, we leveraged to the upside here. So it's mainly looking at these other cryptocurrencies to give us a signal as to when or how to buy in. Even on Ethereum actually closing below its ascending fractal here is also a very bearish sign here. Now, we just recently became overbought. Like it was not too long ago here. This was literally 2 days ago that we were overbought. And Ethereum, it was yesterday, or no, 2 days ago as well that we were overbought. That's just the 4-hour. So let's swing things out from XRP, from the hourly to the 4-hour. You can kind of see now some sort of smaller pennant flag forming here. I feel like we're just going to break right through the support that I've drawn here, mainly because it's not entirely that accurate. This is a very small pennant flag. You can see this is kind of how the markets like to play out here. We were recently overbought here. We're consolidating right now. We're going to see what exactly happens for this cryptocurrency before we decide which direction we're going to be moving to. But there's a chance we could correct lower. In the grand scheme of things, we're trading pretty high, and this is what I wanted you guys to notice here. This is the big thing. The key takeaway in the market. This was the last time we broke bullish. We broke above this resistance and closed above this resistance. And what happened? We did see a pretty gnarly sized run to the upside here, and then immediately reversed down and tanked. This is why it's nerve-wracking to be trading outside this border here. We also retested overbought too. This is very similar. From the same price level we started from at about 50 on the RSI, you can see right now we started this at 50 on the RSI. We ran it all the way up, became overbought, retesting about 75 on the RSI here. And then we're currently retesting about 75 on the RSI here. And then it immediately started at this major dumpage. This immediately corrected us down. It's a very similar pattern. It's a very similar pattern here. You can see the first swing back up, correction down, and then a dump. And you can see very similar here. First correction up, swing down, and then now we're anticipating the dump. So I don't know if history is repeating itself. I'm just warning you guys that this is something to pay attention to. I mean, we're in the same similar, patterns here. The green band is over the red band. Green band is over the red band on our charts now. We retested, or currently retesting, the middle of the Bollinger Bands. We're currently retesting the middle of the Bollinger Bands. So there's a lot riding on the fact that this could trigger a dump. And I hopefully it doesn't, but there's this big chance that it could trigger a big dump in the correction. I'm just warning you guys in case markets decide to correct all the way down and we see point C confirmation. There's still this possibility that this is what we're looking for here. This could still play out long term, this big symmetrical triangle we've been tracking here. This could easily send us down to C. But I'm not trying to spread FUD or anything. I just want you guys to be aware of the possibilities of whether or not we correct lower. It's happened before. There's still a chance it could happen again. Now, these other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, starting to correct outside its uptrend here. This is a bearish sign as well, showing signs of rejection or correction. We had a bearish cross on the MACD as well. So a lot of signals saying this could pull us down to potentially 41 or the bottom support here. We retested we became all-time highs. This is a new all-time high. We made a new all-time high, and now we're starting to correct lower. So it's a tough one with Ethereum. It's in uncharted territory. That's what you guys have to understand. It'd be very hard to track this, but it's really just letting it play out. I'm not touching Ethereum right now. The coins that I'm investing into is Bitcoin and XRP and Shiba Inu from my other videos. But it's really just, let's just wait to see what happens with Ethereum. As for Bitcoin, this is the other crypto that I wanted to talk about. This is the only chart that's giving me, trouble here. Every time I try to zoom in, it wants to reset itself. But you can see right now that prices, for the most part, we had this falling wedge that broke bullish. And now, so we had lower highs. You guys can clearly see this is how we track the markets, lower highs. We reversed it and started creating higher lows. So very interesting. This is obviously a bullish trend. Well, its lower highs are bearish, but falling wedges tend to be bullish to break out. But rising wedges tend to be bearish and they break down. So we're not in necessarily the best territory right now. We're kind of floating quite high on this market here, which is something that we just have to pay extra careful attention about. Now, currently, I have not bought into Bitcoin yet. I'm waiting for our confirmations. As we've discussed in the past, what we're looking for is clear confirmation of breaking through our sideways channel here. This is a box. This is a clear box. This is the no trade zone box that all you guys should know now by trading on the channel here. This is a much more aggressive box to trade inside. That's why I don't touch it. Do not trade inside here if, in my opinion, if you're not more advanced in crypto and you really like scalping and taking advantage of these moves here, because it's very quick that we pop up and it's usually at the top here, and it's a very sporadic and quick dump. What we're looking for is confirmation of a breach above this resistance to buy in and confirmation of a breach below this support to short it. And obviously it hasn't done so yet. I mean, there were small opportunities. It gives you about 4 hours to take advantage of this run, like this run happened here. Then we had a pump. This closed above this resistance. We had a pump. Didn't close here, corrected lower. We closed above on the 4 hour. We had a pump. So it's very similar, movements that are happening. It's not super long term, but it gives you profit for the next 4 hours. This happened because it closed above, this happened, closed above, and then obviously this happened because it closed above here. But right now we're kind of trading fairly low, retesting this moving average here. If we close below this 60K here, expect to see correction downwards. I would not be surprised, but let's see how this falling wedge plays out now, or the rising wedge plays out. Now, lastly, to wrap things up, the S&P 500. I just want to make this clear with you guys. We've been, adding the S&P 500 to our technical analysis. I think, honestly, we were the first crypto YouTuber to talk about the S&P 500. Now I see other YouTubers talking about it, which I find absolutely hysterical. But regardless, we started talking about this during COVID. Big dump for COVID here. Since then, we've bought in. We started, dollar cost averaging on the upside. I think I put maybe $2,000 in here and then started stockpiling much more over here. And then since then, we hit this top resistance right here, screaming overbought. So I actually sold out and waited for the drop, watched it correct up once again, where it was going to buy in if we broke through top resistance. We didn't. We corrected lower. Then I noticed the double top forming here. I noticed a double bottom. First, second. And if we broke through the neckline of this crypto right here, if we broke through it, it would signal a big bullish swing to the upside here. So what happened? We started to close through it, immediately bought in here. And since then, I put a lot of money in right here, more dollar cost average. Since then, look at what's been happening. Just straight streamlined to the upside here. Now, this is long term. It doesn't matter. I mean, take profits or not. We're currently retesting overbought here, so this is also signaling a potential pullback, which I'm expecting to happen. But this has been a beautiful long-term conservative investment strategy. I mean, let's just talk about from the point of entrance how much profit we've made. It hasn't been a ton, but I'm happy with it. This has been about a 31% rally for the most part here, and that's incredible. 30% gains since November. It's literally been, November of 2020, to November of 2021. A 1 year, 30% gains. Insane. Otherwise, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. I do want to talk about Beam really quickly with you guys, though. As with all crypto projects, please do your own research and never invest anything you can't afford to lose. So, guys, take your Beam out of exchanges and start staking Beam to get BeamX, Beam's governance token. You can now put your Beam to work by staking BeamX. It's a 3-month risk-free staking campaign, and you can withdraw at any time. So, guys, a little background for those that don't know, Beam is a project that has been silently building out an incredibly robust privacy coin. Since launch, it has garnered a great deal of attention from the markets. And Beam is a Mimblewimble-based cryptocurrency that is not only trying to develop a privacy-focused coin, but also one that is scalable. This is something that many other cryptocurrencies are struggling to deliver on as blockchains become bloated and user adoption slows. Now guys, Beam is one of a number of newer coins based on the Mimblewimble protocol that includes Grin and was created to help fill what was perceived as shortcomings in the available privacy coins such as Zcash and Monero. Now guys, there are several features the Beam team have added which they believe will make Beam a superior coin. Stronger privacy controls are at the top of the list on Beam's features, and Beam has also introduced the concepts of confidential transactions and confidential assets as an added privacy value feature. This feature will allow for the creation of new digital asset types such as debt instruments, real estate assets, new currencies, all of which can easily be exchanged privately on the Beam platform. So guys, Beam is available on quite a number of exchanges too. For example, they are listed on Binance, DragonX, Gate.io, Bitforex, etc. And the Beam staking campaign has already begun and will last for 3 months, which is 131,400 blocks, and a total of 1 million BeamX tokens, or 2.8% of the 36% liquidity mining program, or 1% of the token supply, will be distributed throughout the staking campaigns as rewards. And guys, on the staking announcement, the price pumped 50%, and with that in consideration, Beam staking will start on Beam Desktop Wallet, mobile, and web wallet, and they'll follow up a bit later. Now, staking Beam allows Beamers to earn rewards in the new BeamX governance token. BeamX is currently exclusively available to those participating in the Beam staking campaign, and in the future, BeamX could be swapped for any other tokens and many other assets via atomic swaps. On top of that, it will allow Beamers to participate in the BeamX DAO governance. And the staking rewards scale based on the duration of the amount of staked Beams. The Beam team has implemented a super mathsy formula that incentivizes retail stakers that mitigates whales' influence who may join early and stake large amounts of Beam. And their staking campaign has actually started really well and smooth. Within 2 hours, 8 million Beam were staked, which is about 8% of the total circulation supply. And before the campaign is over, BeamX will allow voters to affect on Beam DeFi ecosystem and protocol decisions. And now Beam has a community call on October 17th, in which they discussed the roadmap update, highlighted great features such as bridges to other chains, confidential NFT marketplaces, oracles, DSKs, and many familiar financial applications. Now guys, while the team didn't announce any listings for BeamX yet, it will be traded on Beam Wallet on its atomic swap feature. And everything in Beam is running on local wallets with a decentralized DApp listing and Beam confidentiality. It's truly censorship resistant. So guys, make sure to check out their staking program in the description below. Otherwise, huge shout out to Beam for sponsoring today's episode. As always, make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.